In this video, guys, I want to showcase some themes for the Iron Twins Fortress that do not use Geomancer. They will work on every single stage, every single affinity, and it will allow you to climb all the way to stage 15. Currently, I am on the test server, guys, so we can make a mess without worrying about it. Now, with the release of the new patch, guys, the Iron Twins Fortress, together with the Sand Devil and with the Phantom Shogun's Grove, got a nerf. So the Iron Twins Fortress is definitely more accessible now, and the main issue before was that Geomancer was the ultimate god for the Iron Twins Fortress. Don't get me wrong, he still is, but at least now we have different options. We can actually tackle this with poisons, we can tackle this with HP burn, so we have way more options on the table compared to what we had before. So I want to share with you quite a few different themes, and let's crack on it. So here we go, stage 15. This time around we are on Magic Affinity. This right here on the screen is a very viable theme that was kind of like working before as well, with a small fail rate. If you have Amic Trunkheart, you can run double Painkeeper, you can run Coldheart, Newt, or double Coldheart. It doesn't need to be double Newt, and you're gonna be able to farm this boss just fine. Now, if you don't have Amic Trunkheart, you can use Roshkar the Tower or Helicat, but you will need to have completely different speeds. That's something that I don't have in this video, so feel free to do a bit of a research on your own if you wanna use that team with Roshkar or a Helicat. But you do have different options on the table when we are talking about Unkillable. So this right here is a pretty straightforward team. Let me just quickly show you how it works. I do have completely different teams, guys. I'm gonna show you like 4 or 5 different teams and variations on the damage dealers, because that is one of the most important thing. What damage dealers can we bring if we don't have Geomancer? Now, this team with Geomancer is approximately 40 seconds. Absolutely brilliant. But if you don't have Geomancer, it's kind of like a completely different story. Newt is amazing in here because of the extra hits that he brings in with the enemy max HP. He is weak affinity, so expect to see weak hits, but that's not a problem again. And the more hits you do on the boss, the less damage you get with every single hit. That's something that he has on one of his passives. I can't even remember on which one of them, but I know it's somewhere in here. So either way, all of the hits that we are dropping in, weak hits, strong hits, or regardless, will have the damage reduced if they're skills that have multi-hits. So Newt might not be the best champion in here, but at the same time, if you don't have Geomancer, I feel like he's the next best option. Now, if you have a Marius by any chance from your missions, that will work just fine as well. But even like this, 1 minute and 10 seconds, pretty straightforward. Now, this team, even if you do it with Geomancer, every now and then it does have a chance to fail if Coldheart is using the A3 at the wrong moment, depending on how much HP you are actually dropping from the boss. That is the RNG with Geomancer, because you don't know if his passive is going to proc or no, so that creates a bit of RNG. Now with Newt, you will get weak hits on this affinity, and I haven't seen it failing just yet. I've done quite a few tries and stopped it just to preserve the keys, because I do have to make quite a few more runs. But I'm going to show you presets, I'm going to show you stats and everything at the end. The presets, I'm going to show them to you just now, just so you kind of like have it set up. So for Amic Trunkheart, you want to prioritize the A3, then prioritize the A2. That's it. You need no other presets. For Coldheart, you stop the A2, prioritize the A3. For Newt, you stop the A2, prioritize the A3, and that's it. Call it a day. Now, we have 3 more teams right here, and how you may notice, we are going to do one with poisons, full poisons, okay? I attempted to do this many times in the past, and it always had a bit of an issue because the boss was cleansing the debuffs too often. Now, since he got nerfed, he's not doing that anymore. And I do want to say, this team is not fast, okay? This team is not fast at all. Let me just quickly show you the presets. So basically, just prioritize the A3 on Dark Gale, nothing on the rest, and just start with the A2 on Mitrala. As simple as that, guys. And this team is probably gonna be a slow grind in here. Now, if you don't have Gale, right? Dark Gale, not Supreme Gale, you will be able to use Venomage. Venomage, she will basically activate poisons with her A1. She will put poisons. She will bring in more damage reduction. It might be slightly slower. Now, the whole idea around this team is that Mitrala brings poisons. We have Aox, the Rememberer, that brings poisons. We have Kale that brings poisons. And with the A1, is basically dropping those poisons down. So that's how this team is actually going to work. Now, we will have decreased attack in here. We're going to have all of the debuffs that we need, except decrease speed. If I'm bringing in decreased speed, this team will definitely function slightly better. You know, definitely a bit better, just for the simple fact that we are buffing a lot. Whenever we are putting buffs on, the boss will gain turn meter. So that's why he's constantly cutting on us, you know. But that's not a problem as well. So right here, he's taking damage. Poisons are not as effective versus this boss as I would like them to be, because how you may notice, a poison tick just does 21k damage, which is not enough considering how much HP the boss has. And that's why this team is not running extremely fast. It would be something more in terms of what damage we can deal with the poisons. This team will be much, much faster, because we basically have everything that we need in here to have a speed run. But unfortunately, the poison is just not as effective versus this boss, you know. I do want to try one with Artak instead of Kale. That's something that I haven't tried yet. Artak, again, is a champion that the majority of you guys have, unless you started playing after the summer of 2023. But either way, to get Kale, you do have to put a bit of work on the normal mode. Doom Tower, I think, is in the second cycle of champions, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is. So it might be the fourth or the fifth epic that you are getting from the Doom Tower. So the thing right here, even if somebody dies, is not a problem whatsoever, because we have a revive on that. We have Godseeker and Eerie. That's absolutely amazing. So even if they die, not a problem. Plus, we have a couple of champions that cleanse in here, which is going to be massive as well. How you may notice, how I mentioned, this is not a fast run at all. The next ones that I'm about to show you will be much, much better, but they will not rely on poisons. They will be with enemy max HP. I do think that Artak will get this job done faster, just for the simple fact that you are able actually to get more HP down with 1 HP burn than probably with 4 or 5 poisons, which is pretty crazy. I think an HP burn is like 100k plus, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't used HP burn in the Iron Twins Fortress in ages. Now, if you don't have Artak, you can always get Cronem from the referral program. That's for free. You just need to work for it. It is pretty tedious. It might take you a couple of months to get 6 referral accounts done, but it's doable. And once you're doing that, you have a free legendary that's pretty badass, you know. Detonates the burn, applies burn. I think he's even better than Artak on this dungeon, to be honest. Where are we? Are we done yet? Are we done yet, boss? Come on, take a turn and let that poison kill you. Okay, so we dropped 2 of our allies down. Not a problem. Godseeker and Eerie will revive Kale if needed. And there we go. 3 minutes and 40 seconds. We have Dark Kale with 1.6 million damage. Mitrala with 1.4. This team will allow you to climb you on every single stage. Unlike the unkillable one that I just showed you. The unkillable one is speed tuned, so that needs to be spot on if you want to do stage 15. But these teams that I'm about to show you will allow you to climb every single stage. And you don't even need to have such good stats like I have on my champions. So let's move over to an enemy max HP one. So we have one with Newt, we have Stagnite. Keep in mind, I'm using 2 champions that are weak affinity versus magic. And I've done that intentionally just to show you that even like that, it works on every single affinity. That's the whole idea. So we have Newt, we have Stagnite. Stagnite will put the defense down, decrease attack, decrease speed, which is the more important thing. While Newt is going to get the damage done. Now, we are going to get a lot of weak hits in here. And it's absolutely fine. It doesn't even matter. It's still going to work like a charm, honestly. So we managed to put a decreased speed for 3 turns. The boss will probably cleanse pretty soon. The best thing that happened to this dungeon is the accuracy requirement. Now, before we needed 550 plus accuracy to debuff this boss. We needed like 800 resistance to resist it. All that changed, okay? All that changed and is so much better. I only have like 400 accuracy on my champions. And how you may notice, we are debuffing the boss without a problem. And that is very, very important. Look at that damage. My god, Newt. You absolutely smashed that boss. For whoever skipped the Newt fusion, I feel sorry for you. For whoever was not able to do it because of the lack of resources, I definitely feel bad for you. Because it's unfortunate. He's just such a game changer. But for people that intentionally skip Newt, I don't even think I'm feeling bad, honestly. I feel like they deserve it. Because there's always this group of people trashing every single fusion. It doesn't matter how good that fusion is. They always decide to trash every single fusion, and they don't do them. And then they are like, "Oh my god, this champion is so good. I missed out on it because I thought he was trash." So we can feel bad for those people, unfortunately. But for the rest that did not have the resources, is definitely a bummer because he is an amazing champion, a real game changer on every single account, regardless if you're the biggest Kraken in Raid Shadow Legends, if you're free to play, if you are in the end game, if you just started playing, he is an absolute beast. Now, last time when I've done the run with this team, I've done it actually under 60 seconds. So this time around, it seems like it's not going as good. Now, you probably are wondering, can we bring in different support instead of what you are using? You can play around with different support champions. We have tons of different revivers in the game. I just tried to kind of like use some more accessible champions, epics, to use Mitrala, which is accessible to everyone. And let me just stress the importance of the Iron Twins Fortress. Essence, you're getting coins to buy soulstones. This is the main source of essence and soulstones for every player in Raid Shadow Legends. While the rewards are absolutely trash, you should still do it, okay? I do personally buy the keys every single day, and that's been since day one on my main account. But you know what? I understand if people don't want to spend so many gems just to get another summon or something like that. And I don't blame anyone. So there we go. We have Newt with 2 million damage. Mitrala, 700k. Definitely not a bad damage. Now, let's just say you don't have Newt. Let's just say you have Husk and Royal Guard. Can they work? Yes, they can. And again, we have no presets except the fact that we are prioritizing the enemy max HP skills. That's it. You don't need any presets on these teams. As simple as that. That's why they're so good to work on every single stage. It doesn't require you to have a speed tune or anything crazy like that. And not only that it will allow you to push to higher stages, but hey, you're going to stop failing in this dungeon and you're actually going to win it. Now, we don't even have defense down in here. We don't even have decreased speed. Hell, we don't even have decreased attack. And this team is still going to smash it. 2 enemy max HP nukers. Actually, we do have decreased speed from Royal Guard. Seems like he has enough accuracy, even though he only has like 300 accuracy. Funny enough, seems like he's consistent enough to do it, even with the defense down. I'm curious, what is the accuracy requirement on this dungeon now? Wow, have they dropped it to like 300 or something? That's pretty crazy if they've done that. In a good way. In a good way, you know? If they've done like 300 speed on this is amazing. 300 accuracy, sorry. Because my Royal Guard definitely doesn't have disgusting accuracy. Now, from here on, the boss will start to hit harder on our champions. If you don't have Royal Guard, you can use Double Husk or Cold Heart and Husk. Royal Guard is good because of the decreased speed. Seems like it lands. I was not expecting that, honestly. And Husk is going to get a lot of weak hits on Magic Affinity. But then on Spirit, he's going to get a lot of strong hits. And Royal Guard is going to get weak hits. So, depending on the affinity, they have pros and cons, you know. But I would suggest you just stick with whatever you have available and don't necessarily stress too much about one single affinity, because the main thing is to have this team work on all of the affinities, you know. There we go. Okay, we're definitely going to lose somebody here. So we have most probably Skytouch Shaman being brought back to life, putting a revive on that on everybody. She dies again, that's fine. We have revive on that. Husk going in with the damage. Then slowly we're going to get healing. We're going to get another revive in a second from, what's her name? Godseeker and Eerie. We're going to have Royal Guard coming back with a takedown available, which is going to be nice. And that should take the boss down. If he's going to survive the initial hit, you know. There we go, that's fine. Godseeker and Iri, come on, revive. What are you waiting for? Actually, wait, she just revived the Skytouch Shaman like a minute ago. Skratch, chill, bro. Chill. No, it almost looks like she just doesn't want to revive. Like, she took quite a few turns. There we go, finally. So now a takedown, game over. Okay, we haven't managed to put in the takedown just yet, but we're gonna have the, the despair from Husk. There we go. So this is another team that works like a charm as well, guys. Husk with 1.7 million damage. Royal Guard only with 900k, because for half of the run he decided to park down on the map and he was dead. So this is another solid option. Now, in terms of different support, guys, we have so many different revivers in the game. I don't know what revivers you guys have to kind of like give you different examples. These are some of the more accessible ones, the more budgetish ones, because they're epic. The same with Skytouch Shaman, she cleanses the revive on that. But if you are quickly going to look at, let's see, other effects. So let's see, positive effects. Do we have revive on here? I'm not really using this, to be honest. There we go, revive. So you can use, for example, Seal of the Drake. She's a very good champion too. She brings decreased speed. She brings the revive. So she's a pretty awesome champion to use in there. Everybody has her. I didn't thought about her to use her before. I will check if I have her built, and the next team I'll do it with her. You have all of these champions right here that can revive, basically. Duchess. Molly Tankard is not going to be that great for this. You have Ancora, which is going to be amazing. You have Sifi. Uko is not going to be too great on here either. You have Raglin. You have Python, which is going to be amazing. You have Elva, which is going to be amazing. Rector Drat, not the best, to be honest. But she can put a bit of work in here. Jamarsa, only with Cronap she's going to revive, if I'm not mistaken. So if you are going for a HP burn strategy, that's going to work just fine. And I wouldn't count on Relic Pretender as a rare to get the job done on stage 15. I'll be very honest with you guys, but you have quite a few different options in here. So let me just quickly try to replace somebody in this team. Right, guys, so we made a slightly different team. We have Mitrala, we have Wood Painted, we have Artak with HP Burn, we have Seal of the Drakes for a revive and decreased speed, and then we have Rector Dread. In terms of presets, you will have to make sure you are setting the right preset on Artak and put the HP Burn first, and then use the Dogs of War. If not, he's going to use them in the other way around, and that's going to mess up the entire HP burn thingy. I will keep Mitrala on the lead just to gain the extra accuracy for Seal of the Drake, and maybe even for Rector Dread to put a decreased attack. But let's give it a go and see how effective the HP burn is going to be in here, you know? Okay, so the boss dealing a bit of damage on us. Reflect damage is not as important from Wood Painted in here. What's important is to get a healing from her. And she brings in a lot of healing, guys. Okay, so we got a Brimstone too. Brimstone helps, as long as he's not getting cleansed. Beautiful. Even if he's 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, whatever, it will help, you know. So we need to land that decreased speed from Seal just to kind of like keep the boss a bit under control when we're buffing and stuff, you know. There we go. We managed to do that. Beautiful. I should maybe prioritize that cleanse from Mitrala, just to make sure she's using the cleanse all the time when she has it available. So we have Brimstone again. When he's going to use an active skill, we are going to get a bit of damage in there, which is nice. We have decreased attack from Artak in here, which again is a very good thing, because the boss won't deal as much damage. We have the Veil from Rector Dread, which will decrease the damage overall. So there you go, 262k hit from the Brimstone. That's nice. You only need to have Brimstone on one of the champions. And how you noticed, I only have that Brimstone on a... wait, do I actually have it on Artak? Do I have Brimstone on Artak? That's why it's protected. Okay, that's strange. I don't recall having Brimstone on him, but either way, if I do, I'm going to drop it out and do another run after. I thought that I had a different blessing on Artak. That's so weird. Maybe I changed it and I forgot about it. I know I have Brimstone on Seal of the Drake, which is like 2 or 3 stars. So that's going to be good enough, basically. It will get cleansed 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. The boss will only cleanse debuffs now 3 times in the entire run. At 80, 60, and 40, right? So as long as we are placing it in between that, and we are getting damage even once out of it, it's going to be massive, you know? But look at the team. It survives so freaking well, because we have the decreased attack, We have the decreased speed. It's just such a nice team to run. And you don't even need to have any of the champions that I showed you before. Yeah, so I do have Smite on Artek. I completely forgot about that. I haven't even looked at it right now. And Wood Painted, she is just such an amazing healer, guys. Like, after they buffed her, which has been probably like, I don't know, 6 months, 1 year ago, it's been ages. She became god tier as a healer, honestly. She's just such an amazing healer. The reflect damage that we have on might deal a bit of damage to the boss, but nothing too crazy. And this, again, is not a speed run or anything like that. But if you are struggling with these boss, guys, just use something like this. It's so much easier to get the job done now. And we have 2 revivers now, not a problem. And the boss is dead anyway. There you go. 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Let me just quickly remove that Brimstone from Artek and show you that you don't need it. So if I'm going to quickly go at Champions, and I'm going to show you replacement for Artek. I'm going to show you the builds in a second. I'm not going to read all of their total stats because there are a lot of champions that I need to show you. But you can stop the video when needed and check that out. So let's put on him, I don't know, emergency heal. Cruelty was going to be better, but let's go with something that's not really going to make much of a difference, you know. So I have 1-star Brimstone. 1-star Brimstone. I could get Brimstone on Mitrala too, which is 3-star, but hey, it's not really going to make such a big difference either. So let's see how much damage we're getting per HP burn. 50k only, so it's not such a big difference comparing it with poisons, actually. I thought that you're going to get more from HP burn. So 50k, yeah, poisons might still be a better option, to be honest. Even in this team, if you're bringing in Kale. But funny enough, this team runs a bit faster. So it's good to have Artek in here as well because of the decreased attack, you know? Which it definitely helps quite a bit. The boss deals less damage, and that's massive. There we go, Brimstone. The boss is about to cleanse though in a second. There you go. But we managed to put in 260k from Brimstone, and it's a 1-star Brimstone. Simple, man. Simple. I like this. I like that they've made these dungeons more accessible, to be very honest with you, especially this one. I feel like this is just such an important dungeon, even though, how I mentioned, the rewards are absolutely trash. It's still a very important dungeon to at least get you started on the soul ladder. You know, you are getting souls from some of the events, from Curse City, etc. But if you are looking to get some essence and stuff like this, you do have to do the Iron Twins Fortress. I wish it would not cost you energy. I'll be very honest with you guys. I feel like we're spreading our energy so thin in 2024 with so much content. True, they are giving us more energy now from the Curse City and other areas like this. They are really slacking on promo codes. Plarium, please bring in some more promo codes at least once a week. Give us a cheeky promo code with 100 energy or something. It's still something nice to have, you know. So where are we? 1 minute and 51 seconds. We dropped the boss under 50% HP. Soon, he's going to do his final cleanse at 40% HP. So hopefully we're going to start landing that Brimstone after again. Okay, we are very close to his 40% HP mark. And we just landed Brimstone. Damn. Okay. He might cleanse that before... yeah, he just cleansed it. Okay. So now we need to wait like 3 more turns before we can apply it. It does have a pretty long cooldown, right? So there we go. We're still dropping the boss easily though, like pretty straightforward. I love that they dropped the accuracy requirement. I was not expecting it to be as low, at like 300 and a bit. I think it might be 350 to be honest with you guys. So that's a very good thing for pretty much everyone trying to build this. The main issue that we all had when they introduced the dungeon was getting the accuracy. So we had to go with accuracy chest pieces. It was much harder to survive. But now it's definitely much better. You do have the Great Hall as well, the area bonuses. I would strongly suggest you do not invest in anything else but Hydra, Fire Knight if you need to. Even in the clan boss, do not invest in it unless you're kind of like looking to get a bit of extra speed to be able to make your unkillable teams. Or you're so close to that 1 key that getting that extra attack or extra crit damage will allow you to get a 1 key, then do it. But if you're not in that situation, don't do it because it will get harder and harder with new Hydra difficulty and stuff like this. And that's where your main focus should be on, you know. It's much longer now without that brimstone that we had from Artec 2, which was protected, but it's still getting the job done, you know. And if your main concern is that you need to farm this dungeon and to climb stages and stuff, you honestly don't have the luxury to dream of speedruns unless you have all of the OP champions for this particular dungeon, you know. But there we go. 4 minutes, job done. And nobody died this time around. It went on. Okay, now you're landing that brimstone. Now you're landing that brimstone. A bit too late. A bit too late. A bit too late. But there we go, guys. These are, what, 5-6 teams? I can't even remember how many I showed you. That can easily do the Iron Twins Fortress now. Time to show you all of the stats, all of the builds. How I mentioned, I am not going to read each one of the stats. I will put them on the total stats for a couple of seconds. Pause the video if you need to look at it. Take a screenshot. And we're going to move over to the next one. Regeneration sets are important. If you have them, they will keep your support champions alive. I would suggest you to put regeneration on your revivers. That will ensure that your team will not fail. You can still do it without it, but like this, you're going to have a 100% win rate, you know. Masteries, that's Seal of the Drakes. Mitrala, these are her total stats. The build is all in perception. She is probably the fastest champion that we have in the team. These are the masteries on her. War Master S tier 6. Then Artec, mixture of stats, total stats. He has too many stats on him. He doesn't need these crazy stats. Masteries. I have resistance because I'm using him in the Ice Golem, so I can get Brimstone on him. That's a no-no. Then we have Rector Drat. Regeneration. These are her total stats right here. These are her masteries. We have Unshakable on her, just because I was using her on some different areas. Aox does not have masteries. This is his build. These are the total stats. So 2 perception, 1 defined set. These are the stats on him. Then we have Husk, Affinity Breaker set. This is just the build that I have on him. I haven't gave him this build for this boss. You don't actually need it. These are his total stats. These are his masteries. Helm Smasher S tier 6. Then we have Royal Guard, Savage and Speed. Total stats right here on the screen for you. 348 accuracy. So yeah, the accuracy for the boss is 300 or 350. Masteries, Helm Smasher on Royal Guard as well. Then we have Gothica Raniri, Regeneration. These are her total stats. She's pretty fast. Tankish as well. Masteries, Elixir of Life. Then we have Skytouch Shaman, Regeneration and Speed. Total stats, 266 speed. Masteries, Timely Intervention. Then we have Newt, Savage Perception. Total stats, 252 speed, just so he works in the unkillable team that I showed you, because that needs to be speed tuned. That's why he's at this speed. Masteries, Giant Slayer as tier 6. Then we have Stag Knight, Relentless and Perception. Total stats, 400 accuracy on him. Masteries, War Master as tier 6. Then we have Kale, Regeneration. Doesn't need it. You need a regeneration on your support. But these are builds that I have for different content. I haven't built them specifically for this. And just to show you that this is even more accessible like that, you know, because I don't have to build this champion specifically for the Iron Twins Fortress anymore. These are his total stats. These are his masteries. War Master as tier 6. Then Amic Trunkheart. This is the unkillable team. And from here on, this is speed tuned. Important. You don't need the shield set, but the speed needs to be at approximately 272 plus. Very important. Masteries. I don't have War Master, but you can definitely get War Master. Coldheart, she's on a reflex. She doesn't need a reflex because she's going to get her skill decreased constantly, but I'm just using her in other content. In the Shogun, if I'm not mistaken. These are his her total stats, not his. Giant Slayer as tier 6. Then we have Painkeeper. They just need to be at 246, 247, 248 speed. Both of them. No masteries, no accessories. This is level 40. And again, it's just the speed. She's actually at 237, this one. No masteries again. As simple as that, guys. I showed you quite a few different teams in here. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. Hopefully you found it helpful. If you did, smash a like and subscribe to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. That was all for today, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.